Hi, it's Liam from Muscle Doctor, and today I'll be taking you through a real-time stretching routine to help deal with hip tightness. There are lots of different reasons for tightness in your hips, and it's always recommended that you go and see a suitably qualified professional to have them assess and treat you specifically for your needs. But there are some stretches that can help give you some relief from tightness in the hips. If you're finding any of these stretches too difficult, then back up and make them slightly easier. These stretches should not be painful. If you find a stretch that you don't like, then skip it, move on to the next one. Ready? Let's go. For a hip flexor stretch, we're going to begin on a knee. So knee down on the floor, other foot forward. So let's lunge slowly into the stretch until we feel it at the front of the target side hip. Elbow resting on the knee. Make sure to keep the upper body upright so you can feel that stretch deep into the deeper hip flexors. Lunge forward until you feel a 5 out of 10 stretch sensation and no more than that. And now let's start taking a few deep breaths in and out as we aim to get everything relaxed on the target side. Make sure that you're not holding any tension. If you are, it may be that you've gone too far too soon, in which case, just bring it back a touch. So deep breaths, relaxing into the stretch. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. Breathing out and lunging gently further into the stretch. You can usually only get a small amount of progress here, but that's fine. We're looking for the stretch in the front of the hip. When you feel that 5 out of 10, hold it there. Keep everything relaxed. It's the left leg, the front leg that should be balancing. The rear leg, the target leg, should remain relaxed. Keep those breaths deep and rhythmic. Okay, deep breath in. And breathe out. Relax. Slowly drop further into the stretch as much as you can comfortably. And when you're there, hold it there for this final round. Scan the body for tightness, particularly this target leg. Make sure the upper body remains upright. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. And as we come back out of this stretch, make sure to do so gently. Those hip flexors, when they've been stretched, don't like to just rebound instantly back into that shortened position. Let's swap legs. Opposite knee on the floor, front foot forwards, and slow lunge until you feel that stretch on the opposite side. Now don't rush into this one. You've been used to lunging to a certain depth over a course of 1.5 to 2 minutes on the opposite leg. Less is more at the beginning stage of this stretch. Find that 5 out of 10 in the front of the target hip. Hold that there. Make sure the upper body's upright. Lean the elbow on the front knee. Holding there, deep rhythmic breaths. Okay, take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Lunge deeper into the stretch until you feel that 5 out of 10 in the target side at the front of that hip, and hold that there. Make sure to keep everything relaxed in the target leg. Keeping the upper body upright, shoulders up, chest up, deep breaths. Okay, final repetition now. Deep breath in. Breathe out, relax, and see if you can lunge just a bit further into the stretch and hold that there. 5 out of 10 max. If you're holding tension in that rear leg, you've gone too far. So just take a little step back, back up off the stretch that you're at currently. Make sure you can relax into it. Deep breaths there for these final 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And very gently back to the start position. The hamstring extender stretch is done lying on your back. So lying down, face up. Let's interlock the fingers behind the knee of the target leg. And keeping the ankle relaxed, we extend that knee until the leg's straight, or as straight as it can be, and then back down. So this one's done in repetitions. And let's make sure that when we get to the top, we squeeze those quads, good hard contraction to give us the stretch through the hamstring. So we're going to do 5 repetitions there. Number 5 coming up. Okay, this time let's keep it going, but as we get to the top, I want you to very slowly start to bring your toes to point towards your face. You'll feel a stretch increase, and then relax the ankle as you bring the knee back down. That should turn into one fluid motion as we go. Three more reps. 3, 2, and 1. They should get easier as we go. Gently pop the leg down on the floor, interlock the fingers behind the opposite knee, and keeping the ankle relaxed when we begin, let's extend that leg. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, hold it for a second to feel the stretch, and then bring the leg back down. So 5 repetitions. Okay, on the next rep, let's bring that leg up to the top, hold it there, and gently bring the toes to point towards your face, and then relax as you bring the heel back down. Movement should become more fluid as we go. And you should find that it becomes easier. You're more able to achieve the stretch. 3 to go. Final one. And gently place the leg back down on the floor. For this adductor stretch, we're seated on the floor, on a mat if you've got one. We're going to bring the soles of the feet so that they're touching. There are a few progressors and variables to this stretch that we can make it more intense with, but we're going to begin nice and easy. So those knees should be able to just drop down to your sides, no matter how high up they are, without too much of a stretch sensation through the adductors. So let's start by just bringing those heels in closer to the groin, trying to get the hands around the toes. Let the knees drop down slowly and see if you can lean yourself forward into the stretch. So we're looking for about a 5 out of 10 stretch sensation in the groin, the adductors, and no more than that. We need to be able to relax into the stretch, and we won't be able to do that if we're pushing it too hard too soon. So find that point where you can feel a 5 out of 10. Yeah, it's a good stretch, wouldn't want to go much further, and take a few deep breaths. During this initial stretch is a good time to do a little body scan and see if you can pick out any areas of tightness that you're holding and getting them to relax. Deep breathing should help that. Okay, we're going to change our grip from the toes now onto the ankles. The elbows should drop down somewhere to the legs, the thighs and the shin. And from there what we can do is gently push the elbows down by almost pulling up on the ankles. So take a deep breath in first. And as you breathe out, let's lift the ankles, which will in turn push the elbows down into the knees and gently lean forwards until we feel a stretch in the muscles of the groin, the adductors. Deep breaths in that position, find your 5 out of 10 and hold it there. At this point we should be focusing on relaxation and keeping everything nice and relaxed and to stop it from tensing up. Okay, deep breath in and breathe out, relax, and as you do so, see if you can push down into the knees even more, leaning forward, feeling the stretch in the groin. and stopping when you feel the 5 out of 10. When you're there, deep breaths and relax. Ten seconds to go. Okay, gently lean back away from the stretch, and I want you to lift your knees with your hands back into that start position, and then gently let them down again. So we can just get some movement going there to help us to be ready to get back up and out of the stretch. The frog stretch is a mobilization for the groin, similar to cat-cow and child's pose, but with a different intention. We're targeting the adductors, but also generally just the hip joint, so this should not be painful. So let's begin on all fours, hands down, knees as well. So knees in line with hands to start with. From there, we're going to just shuffle them outside of the mat so that we're kind of on the insides of the knees, because we need to create a hole to drop the bum down into. From there, shuffle the hands forward and then slowly lean back into that stretch. So we're looking to feel that in the groin, the muscles of the adductors, inside of the thigh. Hold it there just for a moment before coming back to an upright position and then slowly back down. So we're spending some time there initially just to feel the stretch in the target areas and to make sure that we can do so safely. And when we're happy with that, we can move into that position and back out of it seamlessly for a mobilization of the groin. We're going to go for 10 repetitions. It's not a race. Make sure there's good quality of movement and that with each repetition, we're going slightly deeper into the stretch if possible. If you're not forcing it, things should loosen up as we go, and you should feel more able to push deeper into the stretch. 3 more to go. Last one. Back onto all fours, bring the hands back towards you, knees back where they started. For the seated glute stretch, we're beginning with legs outstretched, sat on the mat. So bring the right leg across to the left side hip. Make sure that you don't rush positioning and setting up on this one, because this foot position really determines the degree of stretch that you're going to get. Try and get that heel close into the hip and then bring the arm around the knee, hugging it close into the chest. Support yourself with the opposite hand and hold that position there. Deep breaths as we try and keep that knee close into the chest. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the other arm around, hug the other arm, squeeze that knee into the chest. Sitting yourself upright, you'll feel that foot lift slightly up off the floor. Keeping the knee close into the chest, you should feel a good stretch in the right side glute. Hold that there, deep breaths, and try and relax into the stretch. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let's look down, bring the chin to the chest, looking slightly towards the side of the hip that you're stretching. Try and keep your breath as deep as it can be in that position. This should not be painful, and it shouldn't be too intense. And slowly bring your head back to the start position. Gently lift the leg to its original position. So let's swap sides. Left leg over right this time. Again, take your time, make sure you get that left heel in close to the hip. Bring this arm around as good and fast a grip as you can, and bring that knee into the chest. Supporting the weight with the opposite hand. Hold that position, and let's take a few deep breaths there. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let's bring the other arm around to hug that knee in. Sit yourself upright. The foot should just lift off the floor. And there's a good stretch there in the left side glute. Making sure to keep the knee in close to the chest. Deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly bring the chin to the chest, looking down and towards the side hip that you're stretching. Make sure not to let that leg escape from the chest. Keep the knee in close to the chest. And slowly bring the head back up. Return the leg to the start position. The 90-90, so called because we've got lots of nice 90-degree angles at the knee and at the hip. It gives us internal and external rotation through the form of a mobilization for the hips. So we're beginning on a bum, on a mat if you've got one, and let's drop the inside of one knee down to the floor and the outside of the other knee down to the floor. What we need to do there is take a little lean back and allow some room to bring the legs around. So now we're in the opposite position. We've got the inside of the right knee to the floor, outside of the left, and then back. So we're getting 90 degrees of internal rotation on one leg and 90 degrees of external rotation on the other. One more repetition, and now let's hold that position. So we're going to head off with the right hand in the direction that the left knee is pointing. So slowly down onto the floor, try and get the chest to the knee and reach as far as you can with the right arm. Gently push yourself back up with the left hand, and we're just going to go for a shin tap, just a light shin tap, which gives us that rotation there for the right leg. So let's go again, but we'll move a bit quicker this time. Down as far as you went before, and then a fraction further. Back up and shin tap. And with every shin tap, we're aiming to go further down that leg if possible. Two more to go. Last one. Okay, back onto your hands, and let's flip those legs over and repeat on the opposite side. So left hand heading off in the direction that the right knee is pointing, slowly down onto the floor, chest to the knee. See how far you can stretch. Try and get the head to touch the floor. And when you're there, try and relax into that position, feeling a stretch in the right side glute. Use the right arm to help push you up, and then shin tap on the left shin. Down we go again. Bit quicker this time. Five reps on this side as well. So it's not a race, but we can move quicker as we get used to the ends of range. Last one. Back onto the hands, and let's get those hips moving again before we get ourselves back up off the floor. Try and get the inside of the knee to touch the floor on both sides. And legs back to the start position.